I don't get it.
Podcast. What's up, friends? Welcome to the I Don't Get It podcast. This is Naz.
Lauren.
This is Ashley.
And we are joined by the iconic Heather McDonald. You know her from Chelsea Lately, After Lately. Also, you may not have known that she was also a writer on the show because she's a badass. And also the host of Juicy Scoop podcast. And just overall, I love the way you just talk shit and don't care.
Oh,
it's really
thank you.
It's so refreshing.
Last year, she was on the Almost Famous podcast talking about a Bachelor episode, and I was like, I agree with everything you're saying. The audience is going to freak out at you.
And did they freak out?
It was 50-50.
Do
Do you remember what episode it was?
No, it was one from Colton season, I'm assuming, I think.
I just am very...
I
was just very opinionated about the whole thing. So...
All right, but here we don't talk about Bachelor.
That's
it's my
fine.
relief from it.
Let's take a little break down the wild side.
So how are you liking Peter's season?
All right, so I have a couple I don't get it's. My first one off my head today because I think we're gonna do just like I don't get it's with Heather.
Okay.
Heather, have you come up with any on your own?
Oh, I did, yes.
Okay,
I put them in my little
fantastic.
notes section.
I'll get us started with I don't understand the concept of makeup sex. Jared and I have never had it. And anytime I'm mad at him, I just want to kill him. I don't want to fuck him. Like, are you kidding?
But
Like,
did you make up or are you
Yeah,
mad?
but then you make up and then you
you
and then
make
you get
up and then you do it?
Yes,
or that you do
makeup
it?
sex
No,
is
I thought
dumbass.
the sex itself makes up
Okay,
for it.
So I've been married for a very long time, 19 years, and I've never understood it either.
Okay, good.
Because
And you and I are the similar boat. This
because
woman.
when we fight, it's like it's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah.
And then even then, when you start acting normal again, okay, then maybe eventually, but it won't be this like magnetic. It won't be something like like I used to think makeup sex was like I fucking hate you. No, I hate you.
Yeah, and then you
you're
slam
like,
each other against the wall. And, yeah.
And then you're fucking, and then
Yeah.
once you fuck, you're like, I guess we're not fighting anymore. And I was like, that's
That's what
amazing.
I thought.
Why can't we do that? But
Yeah.
nobody wants to do that. Like, this is the
No.
last thing I want to do.
Do we think that maybe this is like a married thing and a non-married
No.
thing?
I feel like
I
I've
think
had a
this is
lot
a
of
movie
makeup
thing.
sex when after we're done crying.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? That's
Yeah,
gross.
I know. I'm sorry. That's a lot of tears and like gross like crying saliva.
Heather was a virgin at 29.
27.
27.
Oh,
Sorry.
actually, it's
Don't
so
tear
embarrassing.
on two
Sorry,
more
I
fucking
know.
years,
I know. I'm sorry. I
please.
don't know where I got 29
That's where
from.
we really bonded. That's when I approached you before you even had a podcast. I
I know.
introduced you to the world.
Exactly.
Do you know how many
really
people
were.
come on my show and then
I
have
know.
such a great experience that then they start a podcast?
You're like, good luck, Chuck. Everyone fucks you and then gets a podcast.
That is so funny. But yeah, so I mean, Heather and I have similar sexual experiences, and I think we're just two branded people who would not be into random sex or hates or
Or
you know,
when you're mad at
makeup sex.
your
Sex,
spouse sex.
Yeah.
I feel like makeup sex is the thing, but maybe it's just I've had it. Like,
You have?
Yeah, but I've never had like a real boyfriend. So it's been like flings or people
And
like
then
that you're
mad-
like annoyed at.
You're annoyed out, but then they still come over for a booty call. I don't,
That-
that's not
does
makeup
that-
sex.
that doesn't
No,
count?
That's just a booty
Damn.
No,
call.
this has to be like in the midst of a relationship where you're like
Yeah.
so comfortable fighting with each other and you get that little tinge inside you. You're just like, I can't even describe it besides a tinge where you're just
Right.
like, I just need to talk. I'm going to talk this out forever until you just agree with me.
Yeah.
Well, you're not really the most sexual person in
Yeah,
general,
it's
so
true.
that's probably why.
Yeah.
If you like intermixed hatred and sex, then that would happen, but those do not mix for you at all.
Right. Do you did you discover yourself to be a sexual person or just like a whatever person when you did end up
when I
having sex?
finally
Finally
lost the
boned.
card.
like when you had somebody to regularly do it with?
I do. I mean, yes, I think I like sex. I definitely think about sex. I talk about sex. I love to watch like sexy stuff.
Well, yeah.
Not like porn. I like.
Yeah, I know what
just
I mean. Like, if there's a good sex scene in a romance.
like Showtime level sex.
Yes.
You know, and like I never like I'm not into like a gross porn or anything
No.
like that. But I like that type of thing. I like to fantasize and I like stories about infidelity and everything. But I think for
affair.
the most part, as a couple, I like to call us bread and butter boners.
Yeah.
Like I just think we just really keep it to what we know how to do it.
Yeah.
We're not we're not introducing toys. We're not introducing a third person.
There's no experimenting though with like positions and stuff.
No,
it's like
stuff
really
like that, and definitely like on a vacation, it's going to get a little more.
you don't use a cock ring?
What the
No,
what?
not-
Actually,
That's my favorite.
Ashley loves cock rings.
I can't
everyone.
believe you even
Cock rings?
said the word
so
cock ring. You
I'm
don't
on
even
some
like
meds
those words.
that just like totally wipe out my sex drive, but cock rings really can like.
Cock rings?
Yeah, it's like a little vibrator on the end.
You
put on the
introduced me
base
to
of
a
his
cock
Yeah,
ring.
you put
How
on
does
the
it work,
base of his
Lauren?
penis, and it vibrates. So when you go down, you feel that vibration.
What do you mean? So that when he goes in, then it hits
Or
your
when you
clit.
go down,
When you go
like
down.
if you're on top.
Okay, so you're about to bone, and then you put the little ring on
Yeah.
on the end of it.
Yeah, on the
on the
Well,
tip
that
or
sounds
at the
like-
base, the pelvis, at the
that,
base.
That just sounds like a great idea.
You
Wait,
should
and
see
it vibrates?
We're going to introduce toys now.
pleasure
Yes.
chest is right around the corner.
and it just vibrates.
And it
at the-
vibrates, yeah.
Okay,
So it's
and
the
then
best
what
of
does it
both
do for
worlds.
him?
So
It's not for
that's
him,
it's
it's
not
for
for
you.
you. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
But it
Okay.
won't affect his
No, it doesn't.
experience.
If anything, it's like maybe even a little bit better because it puts like a little bit of. It's like when you hold his base when
Yeah.
you're giving him head.
Guys,
Yeah.
I'm learning more about Ashley than I've ever
I
in
know,
my
me
life.
too.
I just read a lot of Cosmo as a virgin, so
Yeah.
I would know what I was.
You know
gonna
what?
do.
One of my best Cosmo articles I've ever read. I was at in my sister's room, and she was much older than I was. And for some reason, my parents were realtors, and in a real estate deal, they inherited a waterbed. And so she's like, "I want the waterbed." Do you guys know what a waterbed is? You're
Yeah,
probably too young to
absolutely. No,
even know
we
what it
know what a
existed.
My first
waterbed
boyfriend
is.
had a
Of
waterbed.
course, I remember.
Okay, I don't know why anyone would want a
I don't
waterbed.
know.
Every time you moved on it, it'd wake you up like. So it was this big, like fucking 80s bed,
Inherited.
and she had like a bedroom, like in the addition, like they added on to the. And anytime like she was away or whatever, I'd have a friend over and I'd be like, "Want to sleep in the waterbed?" And we'd be like, "Yeah." And it would just, and it was hot, and there was satin seat. Anyway,
Oh.
And it would make a noise too, like you hear the water swishing.
so I'm
too.
like sitting in her bed and I find this Cosmo and I'm probably like 9, okay? And I'm like, what is this? And I start reading the Cosmo. And it is about a girl's first lesbian experience. How she was straight this whole time, and then this girl just like pushed her on the bed and just started going down on her. And I was like, Cosmo is so great. Like I was reading Cosmo from 9 years old on.
Yeah, it's
that's
still
amazing.
so relevant. But you're also
So
like, kind of like
relevant.
hiding what you're reading as you're reading.
yeah,
It's so
but you
true,
can't
especially
want-
on airplanes. Because that's when you buy
yes.
it, and it's like 5 ways to like
I know.
spice it up or like masturbate. And
I
I'm like
know.
reading the article, and I'm like, this person in the middle seat knows I'm
knows
trying
I'm
to masturbate
masturbating.
better.
Yeah.
No, I know. I don't even know whether to read those articles next to Jared.
And sometimes you want to underline that stuff.
know.
And like I take pictures of it on my phone. I'm like, I got to remember this for later.
I always
when I'm on
liked
the
when it
toilet.
was like a story, though. Not
Oh,
like
they used to have.
They
They
still
used to
have
have the stories.
pieces.
They used to have the erotica.
yeah,
like
kind of, or like I don't know, just someone's personal story that was like juicy. Just a regular person's like whatever.
well,
story.
like the confessions. Those are
Yeah.
my fave.
I
They
used to
still do
like
those.
confessions until I
Yeah.
got older, and then I was like, I don't care about your embarrassing moments.
I also feel like they write some of them.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Okay, Ashley, you know how I like really hate being on my phone all day, every day?
Yeah.
So recently I downloaded this game because I was like, okay, if I'm going to be on my phone all the time because it's in my pocket and it's convenient and it's there whenever I'm waiting in line for something or waiting on anything really, I might as well be using my phone like for good and playing a game that's going
and stimulate your brain.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. What was it called?
So the game is called Best Fiends. I'm obsessed with it. It has challenging puzzles and it has a story, so it engages me.
good.
Like for example, you play as like the characters are bugs and the antagonists are slugs, and you know how much I hate slow people, so that's really fun. And also the colors are great, and I just think it's really a great playing a game is such a fun and engaging way to not only stimulate your brain but also pass the time.
Yeah, and like we're always waiting, whether we're on an appointment or like you show up to something and like they're just not ready for you in the car. I mean, like don't be playing at red lights, but you know what I mean. Like you know how you drop somebody off and then you're like, oh, that's taking them forever, and you're in the car
Right,
and you got
right.
nothing to do. So this is great for it. It's also a 5-star rated game.
It is such a good game, you guys. I'm on the second level right now. I play almost every day. I've gotten my family into it, and it's a really fun way for me to also like stay in touch with, not stay in touch with my family, but you know what I mean, like have everyday contact with them through a really fun game.
It's also really great for airplanes, subways, because it doesn't require any internet in order to play. So engage your brain with these fun puzzles and collect tons of cute little characters. They are adorable. Trust me, with over 100 million downloads, the 5-star rated mobile puzzle game is a must play. You can download Best Fiends for free on the Apple App Store or Google Play. And
So that's friends without the R.
Yes.
Best Fiends.
yeah.
Okay, do you have any other I don't get it then?
No, but now this is such a fun topic to talk to her about that.
Well,
I have other
yeah,
questions,
she has so
but-
many I don't get it.
I have some. I brought
Okay,
some.
fine. Okay, let's give them to us.
I'm realizing now a lot are kind of fashion related.
That's totally fine.
I don't get when moms and their daughter, like they
Match.
dress their daughter, like Chloe and her daughter, and they always have to match them, or they call them my mini me. I kind of feel that's a little bit gross and not a feminist way to be. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe I'm jealous because I gave birth to boys and I don't have a mini me, and I think this might be a tad jealousy, to be totally frank. But when everyone's like on Instagram, like my mini me, and I'm like, first of all,
She doesn't wanna
she's
be
not
you.
your mini you. She's half of the sperm. And maybe she doesn't want to be you, and maybe she's going to grow up to be a big decky lesbian. Like who the fuck cares? Why are you acting like she's your mini? I don't know. There's some I don't get that, and I also don't get the matching clothes.
It's
But
like you're
then I think
imposing a
sometimes that's
personality onto the child. And
I
you
don't-
don't know like what they're
I don't like when moms or whatever, dads, dress their kids in like frou-frou baby stuff. I want them to all look like little gentlemen or all little ladies, you know?
I agree.
Not like,
But
like
we have
put
the
the
same
stupid,
fashion
but then when I
sense.
put the stupid flower on the head with the headband. Like, ew, the child is going to be very
Or
embarrassed.
pantyhose. Like I fucking hated
They don't do that
pantyhose when I was
anymore.
little.
They
don't-
cannot
no
possibly
one
do
does
that
that
Nobody
anymore,
wears
right?
tights,
No.
pantyhose. There's 7-year-old women not wearing pantyhose.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wears
Yeah,
pantyhose
no.
anymore.
Why
Like,
did they
all-
ever put pantyhose
'cause
on an
all-
infant? Why would an infant ever
Need
need
that.
fucking
That's
tights.
pantyhose?
I know,
Mom?
like tights.
I don't know.
Yeah,
What the
was
fuck?
that? That
But
was
it does
weird.
look sort of cute with like a little like tight white
No.
leg coming out of a dress. I don't know.
Never
it was,
cute.
It was. I never did
You guys,
it.
should we bring tan stockings back?
Me and
Because
you
it's going
talked
to
about-
hide cellulite.
We
Let me
talked
tell
about
you
this when
something.
Taylor Swift wore them, remember?
Well,
Oh, that's
when
right.
you're wearing those bodysuits on stage and you're a woman of a certain age, like J-Lo, yeah, those fucking tights are saving your life.
Yeah.
So all those girls wear those tights.
Okay.
But how old do your legs even look? Like, do legs get really old looking?
No, but it
Yeah,
just
I
like
mean,
sucks them in
veiny
and
and
tights
veiny.
and gives you a look. And so I think one day someone just goes, "Why are we wearing these awful tights? Like we could just put some like self tan on our legs and
Yeah.
rock it."
Yeah.
But there are times when now I see certain legs like Caitlyn Jenner, and I'm like, Caitlyn, you got to wear pants or some like, I'm sorry, guys. You know, I'm sorry. You're a woman now, and you look pretty and you look like Cindy Crawford. I agree. But your legs are still that of a 70-year-old human.
Man.
So your knees are not sexy enough to go bare.
It's
Yeah.
always the knees. That's what I want to cover with tights. My knees,
Or like
I hate
veins,
them.
or when you're dancing on stage,
Knees are
yes,
so
your
weird.
thighs are going to jiggle.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
so
It's
you
just
need that
not-
support.
it's not- yeah.
I also love that you're the first person I have heard publicly say that she looks just like Cindy Crawford, because I've always felt that,
Okay,
but I've never heard
really?
someone say it out loud. Yeah, I feel like they look
Because
the same.
you know what's really interesting about that
what?
is I knew someone. Well, I was friends with I am friends with
Yeah.
Kardashian, but friends with them for many, many years when they were like, you know, just starting Dash and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And anyway, so before it was official on Vanity Fair, but we people are starting to go, wait, what's up? You know, 2 earrings, getting your apple shaved, nail polish was the final for me.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It was pink. Or
My
red.
friend goes, you know, well, she wasn't Caitlyn then, but whatever, says that when she does herself up, because she was doing herself up for years, but she couldn't, you know, like she'd go to a speaking engagement and she would do herself up. She said, I look like Cindy Crawford. And she really does.
She really does 1,000%.
She
I don't know
really-
how no one's ever said this out loud. I've always thought that.
She looks like Cindy Crawford, yeah.
I'm sure Cindy Crawford loves that.
I know. Cindy Crawford. Cindy Crawford has been like identified in like photos and stuff
As
as
Caitlyn
Caitlyn,
Jenner.
and
No.
got really pissed.
No.
The only thing worse in Cindy Crawford's life than that is her daughter dating Pete Davidson.
they broke up
They
today.
broke up
Yes.
today.
I've been praying.
What
for
did he go
that.
to rehab for?
I like Pete Davidson. We don't like him.
He's
I
not-
like it
you're
when he
not-
doesn't-
you don't
Not for my daughter.
Yeah,
Kaya.
you don't want your
No.
daughter dating him. No way.
No, you don't want your 18-year-old model daughter
Who just turned
dating
18.
a guy that's like fucked everyone and is tatted from head to toe and is an admitted drug addict.
He's like a literal walking herpes. Like, He's hot and charismatic and funny, but
I'm
not.
sure his dick is huge, but you
It's
do not.
He does
absolutely
look
enormous.
like
He
he does
big
look
Probably
like
her
he
first
has big-
dick. He could even be her first dick.
Maybe.
She's
Maybe.
No way. No way.
She doesn't
Not
look-
with that face.
Do you have insider knowledge that it's
No,
one-
but I
okay.
would think that maybe he's her third dick.
Okay.
She's
Okay.
18. She's
Yeah.
had to go model, and I just don't think
I've never felt more
lot of kids these
indifferent
days are
about a
like-
celebrity in my life
Than
until
Kaya
Kaya
Gerber?
Gerber became a person. I feel
You're
like I
into-
always feel something, when a celebrity comes out, I'm like, oh, I really like this person. They're really likable or, oh, whatever. And when she sort of came out into the world, I've never felt more indifferent or not care.
I think it's crazy how much she looks like her mom, so I'm sort of obsessed. Now that is a mini her. Okay, now if mini me.
That is a mini her.
Okay, but you have to be like Reese Witherspoon
Yeah, exactly.
and her daughter.
That was coming out of my
You
mouth.
have to be
That's
that
a mini me
crazy
too.
identical.
Doesn't Reese's daughter Ava look so much like Ryan Phillippe too?
Well, because
Yeah.
Reese and Ryan Phillippe
look similar.
Look the
Yeah.
same.
Because
Yeah.
I
You know,
think
I-
Ava looks
I-
like 50-50.
I think Reese looks younger than Ava in some photos that she posts.
I have a friend who's a single mom by choice. So when she was going to the sperm donor, she actually chose a guy that looked like her.
Yeah, it's a good mix.
Because she was like, if I want this kid to really look like me.
that makes sense.
Yeah. That way you know that there's not going to be much weirdness. Like that nose with that nose, or those eyes with those eyes. Like,
Yeah.
you just know
You
what
know
you're gonna
exactly
get.
what's going to come
Yeah,
out.
This is why Jared and my kids are
Are going to look exactly like you, Jared. Yes. Pointy
you're
and
right.
dark.
Yeah, it's like really weird. We have like the same like kind of shaped eyes, nose,
So
everything.
pointy.
But
Yeah.
okay, so what else do you have on your list? You got a great
Oh,
list.
okay.
The mini me's a good one. I
Yeah.
never really thought of that.
Just anybody wearing like fake glasses. Anyone that
Okay,
does
yeah. I
has
used
perfect
to
Like
do that as a
vision.
prescription
child.
ones, you mean?
Or like
No,
they're
not
just
prescription
fake.
ones. They're non-prescription.
No, they're
Like
fake.
fake-
They don't
That's
need
what
to
I'm
wear
saying.
them.
Like prescription frame, like
No,
they look
frames,
like-
but
yes.
no prescription in
Yeah,
them.
that's
I
so
don't get the
true.
point of that.
Why?
I don't get that. Why are you hiding your eyeballs?
I used to do that when I was like a teenager,
I know.
and Lauren got so mad at me.
Because it's embarrassing.
Yeah, well,
you don't
My
need to.
stepdaughter did it, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
it's time to slut it up, not nerd it up. What's wrong?
Well, to some guys, that is slutting it
Like,
up.
it
You
was
know?
just-
True, it's nerd.
So
And it is
weird.
annoying for people that because I actually use glasses and people always be like, "Are those real?" And it's like, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, friends. So, new year, new me, roll your eyes. One of the things that I've really been trying to do this year is remain organized and be more productive when it comes to being organized. I know some of you guys follow me, so maybe you saw a video that's on YouTube of my Monica Geller moment where I had this crazy storage closet that needed cleaning out. Well, there's more parts of my house that look just like that. So recently, I've been trying to sell a lot of the stuff that I have that I don't need or that I don't want to bring with me in 2020. And I've been using ShipStation, and it is literally an orgasm if you are OCD, because if you've never heard of ShipStation and you need to get rid of stuff or sell stuff, it's going to change your life because it makes managing and shipping out orders a breeze. So you can import orders from any sales channel. You can ship with any carrier using their deeply discounted rates. You can automate just about any shipping tasks. You don't have to remain at your computer all the time. And with ShipStation, you'll spend less time on shipping and more time growing your business.
And I love it because I normally would decide not to give some things away, like to sell some things, because I would figure that it was going to cost just as much as the thing itself.
Right. Or you don't want to go through the trouble to ship something. Yeah.
So that's why ShipStation makes things it makes it worth it to ship and send and sell and all that stuff. So no matter where you're selling, whether that's Amazon, Etsy, or your own website, ShipStation brings all your orders into one simple interface, makes them really easy to manage on any device, even your cell phone. And they work with all the major carriers like UPS, FedEx, USPS, all the good stuff. And any business can have access to the discounts that are usually reserved for Fortune 500 companies. Get this year off to a great start at ShipStation.com. Use our offer code, which is GETIT, GETIT, to get a 60-day free trial. That's 2 months free and no hassle, stress-free shipping. So just visit ShipStation.com, click on the microphone at the top of the page and type in GET IT. That's ShipStation.com, offer code GET IT. Make ship happen.
Happy shipping.
Now, your husband might be guilty of this.
It probably is.
But when guys wear very hot knit beanies on a very hot day,
Oh, he doesn't do it on a very hot day. It's got to be 60. Is that too hot still?
No, but I see people doing it on a hotter day than that, and I find it crazy. Like, how can your head handle that?
I have no idea. Like, wear a hot baseball hat, you know?
Yeah. No, he's pretty good with the
sexier
temperature.
options.
But a baseball hat breathes. And
Yeah,
a knit,
exactly.
A knit hat
Yeah.
is for the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I don't know. It
flattering.
was a look for a hipster
It is
for a
like
while,
some guys
so,
look really
yeah.
hot in them. So, but I think every guy looks hotter in his baseball cap.
I think there's a lot of guys that look hot in a beanie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's very
Yeah.
flattering, but I think it's weird when. Well, there's a whole trend going on with fashion right now where people are wearing too heavy of clothing for the weather.
I know.
Yeah.
Is that because we live in LA though?
That's why we look
No,
terrible.
it's the Kim Kanye. He's from Chicago, so he wants a big puffy jacket.
It's
all
like
the time.
layering.
and then she has to wear
What
the
he's
big
wearing.
puffy jacket. Like I just saw them at the Lakers,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I've been to Lakers games. It's not cold in there.
They probably have like ice packs on
I mean,
the
and she
inside
had
or
a full,
something.
like cat suit on, and
Yeah.
then like a jacket, like you were going to go ski in Whistler, and in December.
But I do love the cat suit look.
The thing is,
the
though,
cat suit looks fine, but then you have to wear it with big puffy jacket, and then it's so hot that you have to put it around your elbows, and you're like, ugh.
I love the big puffy layering and everything about it, but I want to live in negative 30-degree weather
but
for me to
that's
do
so
it.
dumb.
No, but
I
here's the
don't
thing.
care.
But
In
what about if
fashion-
you're wearing a big puffy jacket and like a bralette?
No, I don't
and
like
then
that.
sweatpants.
I want a
and a pair
sweatshirt
of
and then a
heels.
puffy jacket and then a puffy jacket, you know?
in fashion, there's a 3-piece rule where if you throw on a third piece, your outfit is like automatically elevated. It's an easy way to look a little more put together, which is
Turtleneck
why
jacket.
which is why I have mine.
You have a big puffy jacket?
I don't have a big puffy jacket, but I
have a
wore like a
peacoat
trench
right now.
here. It's
Yeah.
like but because it's my
Oversized.
third piece. It's like I could have just
Got
came
it.
in this.
I
And
get
then
it,
when
really
you were
does.
walking, did
But-
you just put it on your shoulders and not put your arms
I
through
put my
it?
arms in it, Heather, just because I was
Okay.
next to you. Yeah, I didn't Courtney it up that
Okay.
much. Yeah, yeah.
I don't like putting it just on the shoulders. You look pretentious.
I like it for
I
pictures.
was really against putting it on the shoulders, and I had like a visceral reaction to it. And then one day, I put a jacket on my shoulders, and I was like, I fucking get it. You look a million times skinnier.
That's what I'm saying
It
for
covers
pictures.
The fat area.
fat back, and it gives you big, broad shoulders. Just the whole reason shoulder pads came into fashion, and then your body's skinny, and your arms are just coming out. Like,
Your arms are
like a little,
T-Rexes.
Here's my finger.
And I'm like, okay, I totally get this.
Yeah.
deal.
All right, I just
I
feel like
think
it's gonna fall off.
really weird when guys do it.
Yeah, a
When
guy
you, like-
should not be
Yeah, that's
caping
weird.
his
Yeah.
peacoat. That's
like one
a little
time, Jonathan
sketch.
Chabon, food god, walked in and he was caping, and I was like, no. I
Food
can't.
god.
Is he
Wait,
your
did he-
favorite Kardashian?
He is. Oh my god! Did you guys?
Did you do
guys?
the Instagram? What Kardashian am I?
Did you follow?
I was Caitlyn Jenner,
Do you
just so you
follow
know.
Benny Drama?
I was
No.
true.
Oh my god, he's so funny. You got to follow him on Instagram. He is this guy. He does all these characters, and he did the Kardashian Christmas party, and he's like does Chris, and then he does Jonathan Chabon really brother. He's like, "Hi Chris, I'm rich." Ugh. And he does like weird eyes.
Yes. What does Jonathan
But I had
Food God do?
Okay, so I've hung out with Jonathan, and I remember I had dinner with him many years ago, and the whole dinner was free. This is before he was food god. I was in New York, and I'm like, "Hey, I want to meet for dinner." He's like, "Absolutely," and it was like. Now, I love to fucking eat, and I love to try everything. There's not one. And the only thing I don't like is fennel in a dish. Have you
So
ever had
random.
like
Never,
It's
no.
a very
Stayed away from it.
licoricey flavor, like
Yeah.
vegetable that will just ruin your whole dish. And I just remember Jonathan, the only thing I don't like is fennel, and he goes, "I fucking hate fennel." Fennel, and I was like, "Oh my
see
god!"
it.
I really do think him creating this persona of the food god, I think is genius.
Did
Yeah.
he change his name legally?
I think he did,
like
but I mean,
did
I
he?
really think
Yeah.
it's great because it's like he really does know about food.
Yeah.
And I was just like watching him on Instagram, and he was like pushing some like way to get like fresh fish delivered to your house, and I'm like, this was so smart because by making yourself a food god, you instantly are a spokesperson
Right.
for a million products.
Right.
Genius.
And
He
you get to
loves
travel
Pinchleys.
and get
Yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
much shit for free.
Right.
Like him being a PR person, I think he thought about it and was like, oh my God, I'm going to just market myself as food. And then for the rest of my life, I'm going to be like 85 in a wheelchair,
eating all this
rolling
food.
up, getting a free meal for
Yeah.
the rest of my life.
Oh, it is
It's
very
so true.
smart. I
It
never
was
thought
so
of it that
smart.
way.
I wish I would
Yeah,
have
it
thought
wasn't
of it.
like Taco God. Like he didn't like.
Just food.
Exactly.
All
Just
kinds.
Food God.
Is he? What was his job as a publicist beforehand? And was he Kim's publicist?
I don't know that he was Kim's publicist. I think they became friends. I mean, and he really did have a PR company. And then they had that short-lived show. Did you remember when Kim produced her first show and it was about his PR company? But it was one of the fakest reality shows
I
I've
gotta
ever
watch
seen.
this.
Wait, I've
I
never.
don't-
It was
what
like
was it
on
called?
Spin. It was something like spin something
about-
like so you to spin a story.
Yes. Now it's
It
coming
was like
back
the
to me a little
spin
bit.
something.
I never
and I
heard of
just
those.
remember this one scene that I was like, this is the fakest fucking show ever. And it was like, this office, this fake PR office, but like everybody's just parked in front of each other, which was like, you couldn't like have phone calls and stuff if
Yeah.
you're like all in front, but that's the way it's going to work for shooting.
yeah.
So then, so this one girl hates another girl or whatever, and she goes to pick up the girl's cake, and she's driving, and the cameras, are in the car, and she's driving with the cake, like a cake, not in a box. Who the fuck picks up a cake,
gosh.
not in a box? And then, of course, boom, we slam on the brakes. The cake goes into the girl's face, and I was like,
God, the
I'm
slapstick.
out. This is the fakest, dumbest show.
Yeah.
We got to bring it back.
Thank God.
Bring it back to Netflix.
That's amazing.
Thank God Jonathan was like, yeah, this is fucking lame. Let me go trademark food god.
So are you, because I know obviously you used to like write and you did, are you still working in TV or are you like so far away from TV
No,
now?
I mean, no, I'm not working in TV. I mean, at this point, fortunately, the podcast and my stand-up is to the point where I couldn't go take like a writing job. It wouldn't make sense unless I was like, it was my own show or
Right,
something.
right.
And, but because of that, like I love to watch TV. I love to analyze it. I love to analyze all reality TV, like I kind of like using it as like a place to then jump off and discuss a bigger situation going on because of these people. So I do enjoy it all still.
Okay, so it's no secret that one thing that will kill your fitness goals in 2020 is boredom. Because let's be real, working out is boring. But
It can be boring when you're doing the exact same thing over and over again.
exactly. But if you have ClassPass, it is literally the antithesis of boring. What's the opposite of boring, Ashley?
Exciting.
Exactly. So if you don't know what ClassPass is an all-access membership to over 30,000 of the best gyms and fitness studios all over the world.
You can go where you want, you can go when you want, and how you want. ClassPass is everything you need to make a workout fun. Naz and I have been doing it for a very long time. Naz is, you've been on it since
I've been on it forever,
started.
and why I love it is because I do get bored working out. And just so you guys know, there's more than just workouts on ClassPass. Like, I get professionally stretched out by someone once a week.
The sweat room place.
Yes, the sweat room place. Shape House is on there. So once a week I'll do yoga. Another time I'll do hot yoga. You can also get massages. You can get cryotherapy on ClassPass. Like it'll change your life. And monthly memberships start at $15 and you can cancel anytime. And what's great is that they've got something for everyone. It's either you can find stuff near your job, near your house. ClassPass is everywhere. Mix it up and find the perfect studio and class just for you.
You can get your first month for free at classpass.com/New Year's. That is wild. Your first month for
free, you guys. Don't miss out on this.
classpass.com/New Year's for your first month for free. Do it
Class-
again. I'm going to say it again.
ClassPass.com/New Year's.
I feel like you must have addressed this on your own podcast, but when Busy Phillips' show was canceled and then she released the reaction, you have to give me all the thoughts.
Wait, can you tell everyone?
What
who's
was the
listening?
reaction?
Yeah. Like
Oh
what
my
happened
God.
She'll
first?
do a better
okay.
job.
Okay.
Well, first of all,
Explain the story.
Yeah,
the story. So Busy Phillips had a show that she got on E. And as someone that has like been a comedian, a writer and everything since I was 21, 22 years old, I like Busy. I met her on White Chicks and we like hit it off. I totally thought she had like a natural funniness about her. So I hear she's getting a show on E. And I was like,
It's a late night talk show.
a late
They're
night show,
kind of
night
trying
show,
to
and
do
I'm
a
like,
Chelsea
okay.
thing.
I'm like, okay. after Chelsea left, they got rid of all the funny. They got rid of Soup, everything. And I'm like, okay, they're dipping their foot back into this world. Okay, I think it's good. And I'm like, and it's all going to be positive and friendly. And I'm in this new PC world of Joan Rivers being dead and Chelsea being gone. Okay, it's all about hugging your celebrity friends. Whatever, fine. I'm down for it. I watched the show, and, it just was lazy. It just, I don't think people tried very hard. And so it was just a lot of hey, guys, I'm just going to tell you, have you seen the trailer to Cats? Yeah. And then it was just she wasn't really a comedian, but then there'd be 4 people in the audience laughing really loud, that weird producer off to the side laugh that people think is cool. I'm like, either have an audience or don't, because I think just one weird person be ha! It's just weird. What is that? So and she'd get in her pajamas, and then at the end she'd sing because she wanted to be like Carol Burnett or something, and be like, Mr. Nightgown, and she had a nice voice, whatever. But every time it was just, a good friend hugging. And so the show
sounds awful.
Didn't go. Yeah. My prediction was...
I wish you guys could see Heather's
I know. We need to make this video.
It's I love the hugging celebrity friends thing.
And I grab your ass and I touch your tits. Oh, we're edgy. Shut up.
So true. So true.
So, I mean, I was just whatever. So I'd watch it occasionally, just kind of hey, watch it. And then again, am I a little bit jealous? Probably. Because then I read this article. How did you get a talk show? And she's like, I was in Palm Springs and I stayed at the estate of Merv Griffin, which I'm sure was fucking $50,000 for the weekend or something. And I'm like, this is Kismet. I should have a talk show. So I called my agent. I'm like, crazy idea. Let's have a talk show. And they're like, okay. What?
They were like, okay.
What? And so, listen, she's been very successful. From the time she was 19, she booked movie after TV show after movie after TV show after movie after TV show. And this was honestly her first failure, okay? Oh, she can't take it. Girlfriend cannot take it. The amount of rejection I've had in my life is fuck, amazing. Okay. So I'm like, this is the first job you've never gotten or hasn't lasted. So she, after it gets canceled, I'm like, okay, when is Busy's podcast coming? My good friend Chris Frangella called Getting Busy is what he called it. I called it Keeping It Real with Busy. Keeping it real busy is what I said. And he said,
guys are
Getting Busy. Anyway, you can take the title because she's obviously probably signing some $2 million with iHeart right now that you don't know about.
Probably. Yeah.
Guarantee. Yeah. Anyway, so she, all of a sudden, months later, she does this whole thing where she's crying on Instagram about that she can't believe she can't believe that her show was canceled and that her daughter... Birdie 13? Or Tweety or whatever wrote a fuck you letter to E.
Did she read the letter?
What?
And a lot of people think that she might have written the letter with a left hand to make it look like a child's writing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And it was
wait, how old's her daughter?
12 or 13. Hold on, I'm picking. I'm pulling it
Wait,
out.
This
look it up
is
and read
wild.
it.
So then,
yes,
so,
you're right. Her daughter's names are Cricket and Birdie.
Cricket and Birdie. Okay, and one of them wrote.
Birdie Busy?
Look up the fuck you letter to E, okay?
No, Birdie Phillips.
Lauren, I thought the same.
I was like, that's dumb.
Okay, so here's the letter.
Yeah.
It says, it says, you are the worst TV network ever. Why? Well, you got rid of my mom's show. And 2, you made a lot of people. Made a lot of people lose their jobs. Number 3, you suck. Well, anyways, my mom does work much harder than you, so you don't deserve her. She will find another place to do her show when it becomes popular.
I've seen those ads and commercials for a show, and I've never been tempted to ever put it on.
And so then she makes it like a feminist.
Then she makes this whole thing like a woman, and I'm like, oh my God,
woman?
shut up.
Like she's like the first woman who like
First of all, let
hasn't
me
had a
just
successful show. Like
and I'll also
whose
tell
show,
you,
like, I don't know
why no one has ever thought of this. The reason that there's fewer women in late night is because women watch women, men watch men. You watch who you're related to. And a lot of women
go to bed early
because they have fucking kids.
That's so true.
They have kids.
They also probably just want to watch
we
comedians.
We can't be up at 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. Like, we can't.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, I think Chelsea worked because it was a half hour and it wasn't too late, and it went on at 11, and depending where you are, sometimes it went on at 10.
I don't know,
and
Heather. I think I'm going to semi-disagree here. I think a good show is a fucking good show, right? Like, I watched Chelsea lately every single night. I thought it was so funny. It was short, you're right. Like, I didn't feel like it was too long. But she got right into it. Like, she would sit down and read the news.
But listen, it wasn't too late. It was 11:30. It was 11 to 11:30, and like I said, in other markets, it was at 10. I think
what time was Busy's show on?
Hers was just the same time,
okay.
But I just don't think it was like, I don't think people cared, and I think a lot of the E audience changed. And they all went over to Bravo, but like, I don't know who the E audience is now. But anyway, I think that what it is that sometimes when 11:30 or a 12:30 show like James Corden, there's just less women up that late. I think.
It's also like you watch that stuff the next day on Hulu, on YouTube, on Instagram, but no one's like, you got to watch this video from Busy Phillips show, you know?
Sure. No, because there was nothing like juicy or funny.
Exactly,
or, like she wasn't.
She didn't have Harry Styles interviewing Kendall Jenner.
And the thing is that people don't want to go, you know what I'd like to see tonight? Just two positive A-list girlfriends hugging each other, talking about how they're doing a juice fast together on set from 5 years ago. No one fucking cares.
Yeah.
Like, you want to watch something either really funny or really interesting and really juicy. So anyway, the point is,
Heather needs her own show.
E is like, fuck you. And I did this like fashion police after the Golden Globes. And I was like, okay, Michelle Williams' life partner, Busy Phillips, like the greatest thing that ever happened to Billy Phillips was that. I'm not going to say it on the show, but Okay. So anyway, she became a +1. Okay, but she's like, Michelle Williams' speech is great. I should call her Michelle Phillips. Michelle Williams' speech is
at the Golden Globes.
Is really great at the Golden Globes. Really great, really important.
After she won her award,
but Busy's like, like screaming, yelling it out, everything, and I'm like, wait, I don't think I saw like when I pulled up like the hottest fashions from E. I'm like, I don't think I saw Busy's dress.
Oh no, they're blacklisted.
Oh, they're not going to feature her after that cricket fuck you letter.
Oh,
they're like, no. So yeah. So unlike in my little like Instagram thing, I was like, and Busy, when your daughter writes a fuck you letter to E and you share it on your Instagram to your 2 million or whatever followers, I'm like, no, they're not going to feature you on the E red carpet. They're not going to feature you. They're never going to feature you again. I know this for a fact because I've never been on E since Chelsea Lately ended, and I'm not even the one that wanted to end the show. So it's like once they're like, we think somehow you are not there.
Yeah. Ooh. That was an incredible telling of a story.
It was good.
Like, have you ever thought of like just sitting in the library and reading to children?
She explains pop culture
if
events
I
so
ever
well.
get a terminal illness, will you come to the hospital to cheer me up?
Absolutely.
That was amazing.
Yeah,
Face
it's like, well, this is what happened in pop culture this week. That's what her podcast is.
But good luck to Busy.
Naz, I know a couple months ago you were going on some pretty crappy dates because you were sitting across from somebody that you felt like you had nothing in common with, and you just couldn't like keep a conversation going. And that's, especially for you, that's saying something.
I mean, I could talk to wallpaper and make it interesting. But yeah, OkCupid, I'm not even kidding you guys, I feel like is the best dating app out there right now. And I've been using dating apps since 2013 when they like first debuted basically. But the reason why I love OkCupid is because it's just really changed the dating game by asking you tons of questions about yourself and what type of person you're looking for. I know other apps sort of make people answer certain questions, but you don't really get to know them in the same way that you can through OkCupid. And the more questions that you answer, the better OkCupid is at finding your match that you have something in common with. So some of my favorite questions are you a morning person? Did
Which
you make
Naz
New Year's?
is, and like if I
Exactly.
were to marry a morning person who is as jolly as she is, I'd be like, gross, no thanks. So that's like an important question. That's not just like a little fluff question.
Absolutely. Could you date someone who felt differently about kids than you do? Are you a cord cutter? Do you share your streaming platform passwords with other people? Like, they go
are great.
I know. They go so in depth. And by the way, guys, OkCupid works. It's the most mentioned dating app in the New York Times wedding section.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. OkCupid is the only app in the world that can match you on a range of issues that you care about, from how important is a good margarita to how do you feel about climate change.
Exactly.
So stop the mindless time on other dating apps and go to the app where you choose what matters. OkCupid is free, so I don't even have to give you a URL and spell it out for you. So download OkCupid today and go and have a great date this week. And then tell us how it
tag
went.
us.
Do it. Tell us in the Facebook group. And guys, if you do meet somebody on OkCupid because you heard this on the I Don't Get It podcast, we'll come to the wedding.
Oh, Ashley, I love that.
All right, my next I Don't Get It is great for you being here for. So I didn't start using tampons until I was 20. Wait, what year was that I got
24
fingered for the first
24?
time? 25.
I was thinking about this today because I was putting in a tampon. It took me, not long, and I was
Yeah.
wondering, does it still take you a long time to put one in?
No.
Okay.
No,
I don't
30,
know.
like,
Just-
it's like literally seconds.
So what did you get?
So,
Tampons.
okay. No, I get tampons
Did you
now.
use pads with a belt?
No. So what happened?
That was like from the 60s.
So,
There you go.
I started using tampons at 25, and now I cannot use a pad. I think it's just crazy.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
It really is.
So then, how do people? So my I don't get it is how do people out there choose to use pads over
Ashley,
tampons?
you've had that. I don't get it already.
Have I?
Honestly,
It's been 3 years of doing
I
this
think
podcast.
you may have done that a couple
No,
times.
we did that like literally 2 months ago.
Really? Well, now Heather's here.
I'll just say.
Wait, can you talk about what is a pad with a belt?
Oh,
Okay,
that's
like
like
when-
a-
I never,
My
what
mom
I
did
never
use those.
experienced it, but in
They
this
did it.
book by Judy Blume that everybody read when they were 12.
It was the
a
American
book
Girl
written
book
like 10
before
years,
us.
like, and it was like they talked about this belt and this girl gets a period or something. It was like Deanie or whatever. And I was like, what the? And I remember going, what are they talking about with this belt? Like, because I knew what a period was. I knew what a pad was. I was like, what is this belt? And I guess no one thought to do like adhesives before then. And they just put a little belt. So you literally have to wear a belt around your waist.
Like Santa
attaching
Claus?
the pad. Yes, and
So
walk around
embarrassing.
like that.
Yeah.
So is that where chastity belt came from?
I
Where
would
it's
know.
like,
Chastity
I'd
belt
I'd like
was
to
a
know
long
when
time
the
ago.
I would like to know when the tampon was invented.
I
Can
think
you
it was
look
in
that
the
up?
60s. I remember that
I
old
mean,
commercial
thank
where they're like
God
all
they
like
figured it
rollicking
out.
around, frolicking.
The only reason I think someone would use a pad now, honestly,
Yeah.
and is just if you suffer from extremely heavy periods,
Yeah.
Really heavy,
or
yeah.
like I have one day of the period which I'm like it'll be heavy and I can tell, and if it's like I'm going to bed, I will throw on a pad with the tampon just to make sure.
I used to sleep with pads.
I used to sleep. I told
It's
you
so
guys I used to have to wear
uncomfortable.
pads.
It's because they
even
scared
for
us to
that one
death with
day.
toxic shock, so we're like, we got to use a pad.
Oh, yeah.
1929
Oh my God, the
Yeah,
tampons were
but
around
did you
that long.
Did you
Yeah.
read this? It says tampons first appeared in ancient Egypt.
Wow, guys.
Yes.
Have you ever tried a cup?
No,
A diva cup?
I
A
think
diva
that they're
cup?
disgusting.
no,
I know,
that
we
sounds
talked
so
about that.
gross.
They're
Why do you
so
want
gross.
I don't, because it makes me sound like you want to like collect your blood or something. Like, what? Why would you want a cup?
You're gonna take it out, and then it's all
And
gonna
then just
spill.
pour it down the
Ugh.
toilet.
Yeah.
But so many girls are so obsessed, and they can't stand it when I make fun of the Diva Cup because they're like, "No, this is great for the environment and your body."
I can't stand my own smell when I go to the bathroom on
I
my
know.
period.
I
Do you
know, me
guys?
too.
We
Yeah,
never
you have-
talked about this. Do you
No.
guys feel? I am grossed out by myself. I'm
Yeah.
literally in the bathroom. I'm like, I don't want to be around me. This is fucking terrible. It smells like burnt metal and like I don't know, like a little cow dying. Maybe I have no idea.
Does
but
yours
I
smell?
I have
It's
like
like
this
metal
self-conscious
plus
feeling that
fish.
everyone is smelling my period around me. So I put on extra perfume, and then I'm that girl with like that smells like Joan Rivers with like extra perfume on.
How do
Oh
you
my
know
God. I don't know.
you don't have like your period doesn't smell a little bit on a heavy day?
I don't think so. I think that, only I think of like when you smell is like an asparagus thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or
but
when
like-
you have beets and your pee is red.
Lauren, does your blood smell?
Sometimes- I know what
you're talking
Yeah,
about.
fuck you. You were
No,
agreeing
it
with
does.
me, and now you're saying
it does. It
yeah.
does. I really
Nah,
like today. I grossed myself out as well. Yes.
When
Yeah.
I used
my God.
pads, I could smell it more.
Yeah.
Because it's like
Yeah, that
sitting right
makes
there in
sense.
front of
Yeah.
me.
Any guy that was listening is
And
not
I also
listening anymore.
hate trying to find the string when I have my period too, because sometimes it goes up the butt crack.
Yeah, you have to be careful
And then
about
your
wiping.
fingers are literally like in.
I mean, have
the
you-
Red Sea trying to find
have
this
you
fucking
ever
white
put
string?
in a second
Yes.
On
and
accident?
not
Absolutely.
realize like you were drunk?
You're drunk.
I was drunk and had sex and pushed another one up there, and then pushed another one up there the next day, and it was in there for a week.
Have you
still a
not
tampon in me
shared this
now.
story
Years
on the
ago.
podcast? Because it happened in the weirdest way. She's like, I think it may have been stuck up there. She kept wondering for like a couple days.
And then I started fainting and dizzy.
Yeah, and then she went poopy, and then while she was going poop,
I fell
7 days later, it came out in
Upside down.
with a string. The last to come out.
Yeah, it was bad, and that smelled like a dying cow.
Oh,
I'm gonna come out with period
around.
perfume.
Poor
And I'm gonna be
Jesus.
fucking so rich.
Oh my God. I think that's happened to everybody
Yeah.
at least once.
I've always been scared, but as
Drunk
soon as
totally,
I'm scared,
yeah.
I stick my finger up there to see if I can feel it.
Are
Yeah.
you happy you didn't have girls to like have to deal with this shit? Or
No,
do you
I
kind
have
of
a
wish-
stepdaughter that I raised. So, I mean, I had to go through the period and give her tips and tell her what to do.
Can you
deal with,
imagine
like-
getting a period talk from Heather McDonald?
I know,
Can
that'd
you
be
give us
amazing.
a period talk now?
Very
Pretend I
in-depth.
just got my period. What are you telling me? I'm crying.
You're crying? Did you
Well,
cry?
no, I
Yeah,
just
I
remember
remember I was 9.
one time she's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we were taking two different cars, like my husband was driving, I was driving, and she's like, I'm going to drive with mom. She calls me mom too, because I've raised her from she was young. She gets in the car and she's like, so, what if I get my period and I'm like at school or whatever? And I was like, oh, okay, so you're afraid of it, and I explain, like, I go, it's not going to be like gushing. You're going to go to the bathroom and there's going to be a little bit there. And so I'm like, you can still like put some toilet paper in there and go to the nurse and get one. Like, I doubt it would like show through your clothes. So just don't worry about that, So that was one of the things I said. You know what? Just little thing. I mean, now that she's, she's in college now. And so from early on, even when I knew she hadn't even kissed her boy, I was always just like, you have to get on birth control, and I go, and you can come to me, but you might not want to come to me. So you have your godmother, you have your aunt. I'm like, but just don't, I go, you have every opportunity in the world for this not to happen. And I go, so you've got to make sure that you do everything to make sure it doesn't happen, and even then, like, and when I go visit her, I'm like, so you have a new boyfriend now. What are you doing? What do you? And she's like, well, I'm like, what? What do you? Did you get off the pill? She's like, well, I think I'm gonna get. I'm like, here's your fucking insurance card. What's wrong with you? Like, go.
What was she doing? Condoms?
Nothing.
Pulling out?
I don't know, but she went to the doctor because I
Okay.
made sure that she's on something again. And I'm like, look, I mean, I'd be fucking thrilled though to have a little baby.
So
That just like turn the fuck around.
I thought about it.
that's my mom. Like,
And I would absolutely not be the mom that's like, I'm ready to have fun. I'd be like,
Yeah.
But I don't think she'd be a great person to co-parent with. Like, if I was going to
So
raise the
funny.
baby with her, I
Yeah.
think we wouldn't get along. So I told all my kids, nobody's having kids till they're 30.
That's so funny.
is the goal that you
How
should
old are your
have.
boys?
17 and almost 14.
So do you have to deal with like them
Damn.
masturbating and worrying about
no,
what they're
I've
doing in
never
their room?
seen anything like that. They're both, to my knowledge, showed very, very straight tendencies from the moment they were born. I believe they're both straight. I've
Okay.
told them over and over, like, I wish one of them was gay.
I know.
At least one,
Yeah.
but no.
At least.
And
so funny.
I mean, they're my all of us, including myself, I think are what do you call it? Not slow learners. What do you call
delayed,
like delayed sexually,
bloomer?
late bloomer, slow learner,
Delayed sexually. That's the
late
textbook
bloomers.
word.
Like I think we're all late bloomers.
Okay.
Like I mean, and then that's why I'm like to my son who's 17. I'm like, no. Like I know it's more acceptable that kids stay home and go to a junior college. I'm like, no, you got to get the fuck out of the house.
Yeah.
You got to live in a dorm. Some girl's gonna shame you for not eating vegetables. You're gonna fuck her. Like it's got to happen.
I love it.
Like it's got to happen because it's not happening now. They're
funny.
very like innocent.
Oh, that's like Ashley. She came home every single weekend. My mom was like, "Go to a party."
Yeah, I didn't want to go to a party. Okay, so if you're dealing with the kids growing up, did your husband take care of the sex talk with the guys? And what about like wet dreams? Did they have what?
So far, nothing like that.
Nothing
like
like
that.
Grace,
That I've
you're-
encountered.
Like, what about a girl they brought home that you're like not a fan
I mean, I've
of?
walked in and been like, wake up and like seen like a boner under a cover.
Oh, that's nothing.
But no. But I have said to them when they were younger, and I go, look, someone's probably, you might be at a friend's house, you might see something with the internet, like really something really sexual. And I said, and the reason you shouldn't look at that stuff is because it's going to change your image of what sex really is.
Oh, that's really smart.
really
Thank
And
God
I
we have
go,
moms
and
that
these
do
people
that.
are professional. It's not what what a girl wants. And I go, and so if you come across it or if someone's showing it, I really think it's important that you don't look at it. And so
really
far
smart.
walking in and stuff, like it's just been video games and like they love like crude humor. Like I've let them watch Family Guy and things since they were very young, which I'm sure many people would be like, that's not inappropriate.
I grew up on The Simpsons, and I
Yes.
feel like we're all okay because of
No,
it.
Yeah.
exactly. Like I'm sorry, but when they were younger, they would just talk about how like, oh my God, these Disney shows are so bad. These are the worst actors and everything. And then when they discovered like Family Guy and stuff, I'm like, well, I'd rather you watch like great comedy.
Yeah.
And, chances are that what they're going to be doing is going to be doing something in entertainment or sales or business, something. They're not going to be doctors or anything. So it's like, just fucking like watch something like clever, So I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Okay. My next I don't get it. I formulated over Christmas break as I walked into Jared's family's houses multiple times and saw the same cousins 3 days in a row. And as I saw them for like the second or third day, I was like, do I really have to hug you hello and goodbye again?
Oh, like they came over three
No, like
times?
I went to dinner with them. I went to their place. They went to
At
our
what point
place.
do you just walk in
I'm
and
just
not
like-
hug someone?
I'm like, I really like this is really nice, but do I have to really make it a hi? How
You
are
hate hugging.
Yeah, we're not huggers. really.
Your family is not you. I love hugging. I think it's because I'm like Latin.
You like, get
We have-
excited to hug your
I'm like
the family.
goodbye, hello, yes. Even with you guys, and then you guys were the first people.
We're like,
you like
hey,
gave me
what's
like this
up?
hat thing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, I think that's probably completely true. Like, I like to hug. I'd hug my girlfriends when I see them, and it's like...
But I do too. But
I
it's
don't
like when
think
I'm
you
seeing
like
them
it.
3 days in a row, and I'm like, I know that's a regular hello the first time I'm going to see you, but if you see that same friend the next
I
day,
understand how you're confused by it, but...
do you hug your parents? Do you guys hug your
Yeah,
We
parents?
all
hug
the
our parents all the time.
time.
We hug each other all the
Yeah,
time, but we
we're
don't.
fine.
But
like
you
within
guys
the
don't like
family.
hugging other people.
I every single day I go like this to Jared, and then we hug like 15 times a day.
Okay, so do you not think how crazy it is how you're like that with Jared, but not with any other person that's not
But I'm
Jared
with
or
my
your
family,
your
too.
family? You're not like that with anyone else in the world.
I don't know.
I'm not
Also
touchy with people that are outside of our
Yeah.
immediate family.
Yeah.
More and Lizzie, we do not hug.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Maura and Lizzie don't plan to
because they
hug
don't
either.
hug either.
But you guys don't hug me really either. You kind of started hugging me.
Well, I do when I haven't seen you in a while.
hug me.
Yeah. I want more hugs.
Okay. Well, I get
All
it.
right,
I
so-
totally get it.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
I'm
that's
just
because
like, I don't wanna
we are
hug
the
you
same.
again.
I thought
Anyway.
that was good.
You got another I don't get
That
it?
was a good one. Hold on. Wait, let me see what I have here.
I feel like I thought of one the other day, and I was like, write that shit down.
The
I know, I'm
the
the same.
cat and the Taylor meme I still don't get.
Taylor, what? The Taylor from the Cats trailer?
No, from Taylor from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I don't get that either.
I don't get it either when it's like her yelling at someone,
don't
right?
get
And
it
I
at
guess
all.
so. I was saying that, and Kelly, who works with me, just said that she read something that's just it has nothing to do with anything. Someone just put it together.
Yeah, exactly.
And they just thought it was funny, and so then we started talking about. And the other thing that I never got was when that dress came out and half the people saw it blue and
Oh,
black
yeah.
and the other white and gold. And I'm like, I just find that so amazing. And how did someone think
It is
that
amazing.
there were two different colors? Like, and she's like, I guess someone just said, do you like this black and,
Yes.
and blue dress?
Yes.
And the girl's like, it's white and gold. And I'm like,
Yes.
But to me, I'm like, why is there not like a Harvard study on that? That is so
I'm
weird.
so
Yeah,
sad.
weird.
I thought you were
So
going
weird.
the opposite direction and you're going to say how stupid it was. I was like, I love that blue,
Yeah,
blue dress
fascinating.
thing.
It was so weird.
so awesome because I first
How did
saw
you see-
white and gold.
I saw white and gold. I never
and
saw
now
gold.
never
all
seen
I can
white and
see
gold.
is black
I've
and
never
blue.
seen white and gold.
Never
I've
seen white and
always
gold.
seen
Yeah.
black and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
Where
see
is that
that-
dress? Who sold that dress? Did they sell a million?
I think it's
of
like
those?
very famous and like goes auctioned off for charity or something.
That's so funny.
Have you guys seen the new one where it's like which direction is he swinging
Yes.
No,
And,
I
like,
haven't seen
it's
that one.
Very obvious. Okay, fine. I gotta pull it up 1 second.
Yeah.
It is obvious because I
To
can't.
me, it's very obvious.
I can't tell which way he's going.
What
at
is it?
all.
Is it a person?
It's a person on a swing, and you're seeing if he's facing you or going away from you.
Wasn't it both? If you're swinging
Oh, and
up
then
and
we're
then
all-
back.
Okay, like
Here we
facing,
go.
face his face. Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
Everyone
so
out
watch
there-
it
I'm
respond
going to
for
see
you.
it, and then everybody's going to respond.
everyone out there, listen.
Oh, we have to go through an ad. Huh?
Fuck.
Whatever.
This is a world we live in.
Wait, what was the cat meme? I love the cat meme. I think it's funny.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
get
I don't get it, though.
He's
Don't you
just
not
sitting
get
there
it?
like, what? That's what's funny.
Okay.
Which way is he swinging? Is he swinging towards us or away from us? Is he going towards the building or away from the building?
I think he's going towards.
He's going away from the building. So now you tell me.
I
Wait.
think he's coming towards.
I feel like his feet are towards us.
Yes.
Do you
No,
think?
the feet are towards us.
Yeah.
So he's
Some
going away
people-
from the building.
Yeah. Some
Yeah.
people are seeing him as going his feet towards the building.
I've never. No, he's coming towards us.
There's no way.
Wait, what?
He's
Some people
his
think-
feet are
What do you
coming-
have to Google to see this? Google, if you guys are listening, Google which way is he
Oh, it's
swinging.
barstool
And it's on
swing. Just barstool swing.
Yeah, no. How the hell would you ever see
I
that?
don't. That's nowhere close to the
No.
weird dress
No
thing.
way,
No.
because he's obviously just facing us.
Yeah.
All right, to wrap up this podcast, I have.
No, we have 15 more minutes.
Oh, I know. I think it might take 15 minutes.
Okay, wait. I have a question
Oh,
too.
okay.
Renee.
Yes.
Okay.
Go for it.
No, you go.
Oh, no.
Oh, because you think it's going to wrap up.
I think this is a good wrap up.
Okay. I want it. This one's like more on a serious note. I know. I'm so boring. Did you, because you're like so funny and outgoing, do you feel like guys don't like girls like that? You know how a lot of people say that? I know you're
They're
married,
intimidated.
obviously, that
Yes.
people are intimidated. I want to know, as like a female comedian, like, do you think it genuinely is actually harder for like funny women to like find a man?
Loud.
100%.
Loud,
Yeah.
outgoing. You
Well,
think
it's
so?
like when I was growing up, like I knew at a young age, like I was funny, and and we used to watch A&E Evening at the Improv when I was like, we had cable. We always had great TV, and we were a very TV family. We watched TV, eating dinner. Like there was never any taboo or bullshit. Like no TV. Like we loved TV. My dad was in advertising, whatever. So we're watching it, and you know, I was just like, oh my God, I want to be a stand-up comic. And I used to stay up late to watch whenever Joan Rivers was on, and pretend like I had homework to do, and I just wanted to watch her. So I was like, but I remember watching like these comedians at the time, the female comedians, and they're very unattractive. Joan Rivers was attractive, but she would do these jokes about how ugly she was. And I was like, why? She's not ugly. But Roseanne was, you know, not put together. And Paula Poundstone was this woman that, you know, now she's gay, but we didn't know she was gay at the time. And we did, but she didn't say it. You know, all these type of things that I'd see these people. And I was like, oh my God, like I want to be a female stand-up, but who would ever want to marry a female stand-up? No man would. And I was just like, oh, and I really want to be like a cute wife and mother. So like I kind of struggled like when I was at USC and stuff with like knowing I had this talent, but also really wanting to marry like a beta from Newport. And just having fun, being cute. I was a Valley Deb. I was like in a sorority. I liked that. I wanted to be like a senator's wife. I loved being like a date of someone that had like, do you want to go to my company party with me? I'm like, yeah. Like I just loved it. And then there was this other side that like is standing up in front of people and being like really like ball busting.
Yeah.
And so Yeah, so I definitely do. And at one point, I just kind of was like, I have to pursue the gifts that God gave me. Otherwise, it's a fuck you to God, just like Cricket said, fuck you to E. Like, I was like, you have to do, when you realize you have something special that not everyone can do, and you're pushing it down because you think it's hard to do. That's not right, So I'm like, okay, so let me start to try to do this. And it really was weird to date because it was like, people, either the guy would be like overly into it, like he wanted to be a comic, or he'd be like, how am I going to give this? And it's kind of weird. I don't know if my parents would like it, like that kind of thing. And it's different now, like, 20 something years later, I definitely think like people aren't like that and guys aren't as judgy. But, yeah, it was. And when I met my husband, he was just like, oh, that's cool. And he went and he liked it, But, I mean, there's also been times when we've struggled in the marriage and I'm like, fuck, Joan Rivers' husband killed himself. Like, Wendy Williams' husband had a baby with someone else. Like, it's not a fun thing to be married to a female comic, I don't think.
Aw, why do you think that?
I don't know. I mean, there's other people that are doing fine, and there's comedy couples. There's a lot of comedy couples that like seem to be great, like Natasha and Leggero and her husband, and Tom Segura and Kate and Christina Pazinski. Like, there's these comedy couples that work together that I think are like really. It's just, oh, that's awesome. But it's like Eliza just got married and her husband's a chef.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I wish them well. And I think, but I mean, it's hard. It's different when it's Kevin Hart on stage, and it's like, oh, that's my, like, I don't
Why,
know.
though? Why is it different?
I feel like the men, if you have a soft-spoken woman, they're not going to push back on anything.
My husband has never had a problem. He's been in the audience. I've talked about him, all that stuff. But then sometimes I think, oh, I wonder if it hasn't been that great. But there's nothing I can do about it now. Like, that's what it is. And so I do think it's hard, but I would tell every person to go for their goal. And I do think nowadays, guys, I mean, I have so many more straight men in my audience. I've had like a bachelor party come to see me before they went to the strip club. Like,
that's cool.
That are straight.
Really
like, I
cool.
don't think guys are, I think people have evolved,
Right.
but in general, you are attracted to the comedians that speak to you.
Yeah.
So when people say, oh, it's so hard to be a female comic, whatever. Yeah, it is, in the sense that there were more male executives. So the male executives would go see, 6 people perform, and they were attracted to the Jewish male who talked about the bar mitzvah because they're a Jewish male and they loved that story. Like,
And that's how we ended up where we are today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know that it's not necessarily someone's fault. It's like, but that's why you put diverse people in the writer's room and things like that, because it's very subjective. It's not it's not like a guy walks into the room and is like, no, women are going to work today. Like, I don't think it's that. I think it's like, it just came to be like, oh, and then
This
also,
is what we know.
And what
so.
I would always say to my audience members, which, I mean, my listeners and stuff, which they've, when I've said it now, they've stopped it. But I used to get, on my Facebook pages or whatever, like, I'm going to see Heather tonight, dragging the husband. And I finally said, you guys aren't helping the cause.
Yeah.
Why are you saying you're dragging your husband?
Yeah.
If your husband got tickets to see Chris Rock tonight, you'd get a blowout and you'd be thrilled to go. And
Yeah.
you'd laugh the whole way fucking
It's so
through.
fucking true.
But you're scared because a woman standing on stage, you're scared that I might say something that's going to upset your husband, and then you're going to feel like, fuck, I made him come to this show. And somehow she got political and said some feminist thing that pissed him off. I'm like, first of all, not political. Second of all, have a little more faith in your husband. Like, if he married you, he probably has a good sense of humor because you like me. And trust me, you can bring the husband. And so since I've said that, so many people now bring their husband and they're not apologetic about it. And they're like, my husband, and they come up to me and they're like, my husband loved it. But still, there's this part of me that I'm like, I'm happier that the man liked me than the woman. I'm still a little bit like,
Interesting.
You're still trying to hone in on the
because I'm
audience.
still like,
Yeah.
I
True.
see this. I see this
Yeah.
guy with his baseball hat on, all pissed that he's here, and I'm like. And then he's laughing the hardest. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, but all the girls in the front that were laughing from the start that brought me a bottle of Rumbauer, I'm like, well, really, I should. And I love those people too.
Yeah.
But why am I still fixated on like, could I win over the straight
Because we've
guy?
always had so much to prove to
Yeah,
them
but then-
because they make all the decisions.
It's kind of so crazy that you said that because when guys come up to Jared and I, we're like, or Jared and me, they go, we love the show. Like my wife got me into it. And then we say, and I can't believe I say it now that it was brought up to my attention. We go, oh, the guy fans are our favorite. We love the guy. We love hearing the most from the guys. And it's like, wait a second, that's
Why?
because we didn't expect them to like
right.
it.
Yes.
And people always thought they'll be like, "Oh, I watched the show," or they'll hint. Guys will hint to me watching the show, and they're like, "Yeah, my girlfriend got me into it." And I'm like, "Stop saying that. You
Just say
obviously
you
like it.
enjoy
Just
it,
say
and
you
you're
watch
watching
the
it
show."
even
I've
after you broke
literally
up.
said that back to people.
Yeah, I know. I hate that when they're always
The
like,
Bachelor isn't a show just for women.
Yeah.
she made me watch it. You know, like
Did you
that
see
kind
that
of thing.
Barstool video of the guys watching Bachelor
and I love
instead
it. It's
of the
'cause it's
fucking national
competition.
championship?
Yeah.
It's because it's girls fighting, hot
Yeah.
girls fighting each other. Of course you're going to like it.
I
Yeah.
get frustrated watching The Bachelor and always seeing the girl that is emotional. She's either crying, she is like got a deeper voice. She's a little bit more loud. She's a little bit more, has like a little more energy when she speaks.
Yeah.
Always being deemed the crazy one, the one that the guy never shows initial interest in, and then the guy is always showing interest in the
meek,
soft-spoken,
small,
like batting her eyes
Yeah.
girl.
And Ashley and I have always been, or all of us, we have like deeper voices, which is why I asked you that question
Yeah.
in the first place. And I'm always, I think, subconsciously self-conscious that like a guy's not gonna like how outgoing and loud I am, or that, you know, I just like to crack a joke. But Eliza, how do you say her last name? Schlesinger?
Eliza Schlesinger.
Slush. Oh, that's how you say it?
Yeah.
She has like such a good joke about that, like how in movies and in, you know, like rom-coms, guys walk in the bar and there's like a little timid girl in
Yes.
the corner and he's like, let me say hi to her. And it's like, no, it's fucking Kathy who was like loud in class and like got all ready. And she's like, come on, girls, let's go out. And they always like walk up to like the quiet friend in the corner.
Yeah.
And it's like not like the girl actually trying. And that's like funny and fun.
The
Yeah.
one who doesn't want to be there. That's
Yeah,
so attractive.
that may have
But
a deeper
those,
voice.
yeah, those girls. I remember I had a friend. I still have. She's still my friend today. Okay, and oh my god, every guy loved her. Like she had a boyfriend from the time she was like 13 on. And I used to like
Lauren?
spend the night at her house, and then she'd be talking to the boyfriend, and she'd be like, "Oh, I just all these like whispery for hours on. I'm like, why did you invite me? You know, like, and I was like, I told you, and I absolutely think that fucking works.
Yeah, it fucking does.
Dude, why do they
My
love
friend
damsels
Shay
in
walks
distress?
up and down fucking Fairfax with her huge ass. Like,
She's a huge
ass. And she's like, hi, I'm Shay. I'm like, you don't talk like that, you know?
Yeah.
She has gotten every number from every single guy on that fucking block because she's like,
I'm
hi,
sure.
I'm Shay. I'm like,
Yes,
I'm gonna,
and it's just
and I
very
walk. I'm like,
much
I'm
like
going
about-
to eat. Bye. And they're like,
I'm like,
oh.
yo, is there a line
Yeah.
at John and Vinny's? I'm like, yo, put me down. Like, no
Yeah.
one, who's fucking dating me?
I don't
Anyways,
know,
it's so
but I
funny
don't
that it
even
works.
see those girls in real life. I see them on TV.
I see
No,
it.
they're
I feel
in
like I
real
see them in
life.
real
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
There's certain girls. I always think, look, there's certain girls they either figure it on their own or like their mom teaches them or something. And it's like my mom was just like, get an education. No one could ever take that from you. Like, always make your own money. Like I was like, fuck, why didn't you just tell me, like, talk soft and blow them really well? I mean, living in a big house, not
That's the
caring.
title of this episode. Talk soft and blow them really well.
That's,
that's
the perfect
so
title.
good.
So Heather, what the fuck do we do?
Yeah, what's
like,
your
what do
advice
I
for
do?
girls
do I
like
start
that?
talking like this? Like I
Why
want to
not
be
just try it?
No, I'm not changing who I am. You're obviously
that's
proof
amazing.
that it, you know, a
I don't
funny,
know.
successful, unapologetic, like incredible
It's
woman.
worked.
Like
I mean, it's
you
worked
can find
fine.
someone.
Like whatever, but I mean, no, and it's like now. I mean, now I would never put on a face for any. Like if something happened, my husband died, whatever, and I was out there again, I would like. who cares? But when you have to get them at this age where there is a specific age where you got to lock it down.
Yeah.
No one wants to hear that, but it's true. How old are you guys?
I'm turning 30.
And how old are you?
29.
You're fine. But you don't have that much time.
I know. It's true. I mean, it's like, this isn't headline news.
No, if you want to have a traditional
Yeah.
situation, but
Like not a divorce guy, you mean?
no, but like if you want to
have kids by the early
kids at a
30s,
normal time,
yeah.
and you do not want to like be giving birth at 48 with your egg that you froze from 15 years prior. You do not want to be 52
I just
with a
don't
4-year-old.
have them then.
You
52
don't
with a 4-year-old.
You don't. I know some people do it. You see them. It's but you're not Halle Berry, and it's like it's just So like you want to have them when that in your 30s.
Yes.
So
We're gonna make that happen.
And
we're gonna do it.
Lauren's going to be pregnant tomorrow. She's a fucking...
Lauren, no.
have a baby with the next guy. All because of Heather McDonald came on the podcast today.
There's a 50% chance that you will hate that person and divorce them.
Yeah.
So, but you could have at least like one kid out of it and some fun.
That's what my client said today.
So
She was
it's
like, I
like-
just found the most attractive guy and procreated because she didn't want to wait any longer.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I feel like I have friends that have been down that road.
That you'll just never, you won't know 100% no matter what. You won't.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
if you're in a relationship and it's good and they're treating you right and you're happy and you just think about forever, yes, but you got to look around and go and be smart about it and kind of be like, I don't know, hopefully do your best. Don't marry someone that slept with the bridesmaid the night before.
No.
Don't be an idiot. Who cares if you don't get your deposit back? Like cancel a wedding if there's some real fucking signs that it's like not happening. But also, if everything is good and you're like, I don't know if he's the most ambitious person, or I don't know if I think his mom is a little weird. All right, well, if you still really love him, and I would say, take that gamble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good advice.
So Settle for Less by Heather McDonald.
having it most. Not having it all, having it most. Because you're not going to have it all.
Why can we not have it all with men, but men, I feel like, can have it all with some women? Yes or no?
Because actually Dr. V, who's that therapist that's on Family Boot Camp, she was like, marriage is absolutely created by men and improves men's lives. They live longer, they live better, they become more successful, they're more focused.
Yeah.
They get their rent paid.
But I've also met a couple girls that almost saw the guy and he was living, he had a job and he's had 3 roommates. And it's my one friend, she's this girl from New York, and she's like, what, you think anyone else is going to want him? No, I pulled him out of that fucking rat race. I said, you're getting a fucking job, you're marrying me, and look at him now. There are women that can push the guy to all of a sudden
To be this better person.
Make him do it. And all of a sudden they wake up and they're like, oh, I'm married with a wife and a kid, but their life is better for it.
I know.
Actually, I did it.
I did do it.
know.
Naz, I have to ask her now. She's okay. So Naz is her 30th birthday's in March, and she's been going on dates more often than she has
I've been
been over
going
the
on
past
dates
couple
since
years.
Tinder debuted in 2013.
Okay.
I was one of the first,
So she's waiting for a spark, and she doesn't know whether or not she should be giving guys more chances if there's not a spark. Do you believe in the spark and the prolonging effects of it?
In other words, in this
Doesn't
dating
matter.
age, there's no room for feelings to develop because you're on an app, you meet someone, you kind of go and you're like, oh, do I like him? Do I not?
Sort of,
And then
but-
if you kind of sort of like him, then you maybe go
do
on
you
a
think
second
sparks even can be grown?
It really is such a shame that there's no such thing as a blind date anymore. Because I did meet my husband essentially a blind date. We were set up, but we met at a party. Oh, that guy's going to be there. You're going to be there. And my friend just sort of described him, and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't go see his photo, stalk him, see his ex-fiance from 4 years back on his, no, like I didn't, and then go, oh, he dated a blonde. He wouldn't like me. Like none of that. So I think that's a bummer, but that's just the state that we're in.
When
it's
it
not
comes
going
to
away.
spark, did you have a spark right away?
Yes, there was a spark right away. But I do think, but like with my sister, there wasn't an initial spark. And I just remember she was kind of like, and then we lived together, and her husband, now husband of 21 years, came to pick her up. And I like walked in, and he was just waiting in the living room with like a bottle of wine, waiting for her to finish, get ready. And I was like, Shannon, he's really cute. And he's like charming. And he's like this lawyer with his like little glasses on. and she's like, oh. And I mean, I do, yes, they fell in love and then, and everything. But I mean, she married the best. My sister has the best husband on earth. And she even says that like after 21 years, she's like, what I'm most proud of in my life is choosing Michael.
Oh
it's
my
not my
God.
career. It's not my kids. It's really choosing the right person. Now, other people will be married, and not everyone's going to have that marriage. Like not everyone's going to have a love affair like that. And there's going to be ups and downs and benefits, and there's going to be weird. And some people are just extremely connected for 80 years.
But Heather, your sister's story terrifies me because it's like, well, no, because let's say I go on a second date, right, which is where I'm at right now. If I'm still not into it, how
date.
long do I
You're
go?
about to
Do
go on
I
a
go
third
on
date.
a third, fourth, fifth? Like
No, not
how
a fourth or a fifth.
A third,
But
perhaps.
a third, perhaps. I'm
But
gonna
like,
say.
what does that rule even mean? What's the difference between the second and the third?
I don't know. My sister-in-law also didn't 100% feel it until after the third date. She said she didn't even want to go on the third date with him, and then she did.
Okay, well maybe I'll
And then
go.
she
But
might-
I'm so
like-
anti-rules. It's like
You know,
if
I
I
don't
guys
want to
sometimes
kiss you, how am I going to
until
want to
the
kiss you
second
next
date.
week?
Yeah.
How is that a thing?
I think you got to try something different, and
Okay.
maybe different is
I literally came
going
up
on a
here
third
today. I
time.
go, I have
Okay.
a blind date for you, and I'm not. And she said, "Show me the picture." Now you're not seeing the picture. You're just going to go out on a date.
Okay,
There we go. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. I just
Go
met
ahead.
my husband. Thanks, Heather. All right, what were you
Okay,
going to
my
ask,
last
Heather?
thing is I have to know her take on all of the royal drama right now,
Oh
and like
my
what you think
God.
is going on during this summit.
Yes.
Wait, what is it?
Wait, what's a
What's
summit?
the summit? Is more going on with the
all,
summit?
No, the summit's apparently over, right?
Okay.
But like, I want to know
Explain the
inside the
summit.
doors of the summit with Heather McDonald.
All right.
Basically, Harry, Charles, the Queen,
Listen.
William, all got in a room together.
Megan is a Southern California gal. We have a lot in common. And you think it's going to be fun living in London, and then every day it's gray, and you're in like a very drafty castle, and
And you can't wear spaghetti straps or black nail polish.
you have to wear nylons.
Back to that. This is like
And it is nothing like looking down at like the crotch of a nylon. It's just the worst. And so, like, I think she just was, unhappy and just got in bed one night with Harry and just was like, what are we doing? You're never going to be the prince. It's 2020. King, whatever. 2020. Like, we could have the most incredible life and touch so many more people and be really wealthy on our own and have a fucking blast, not have to deal with your creepy uncle who fucked that girl on Pedophile Island. Let's get the fuck out and have some fucking fun.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy?
That's what
I
happened.
read this article that they are projected to make fucking millions based off sponsorship deals.
Well, yeah,
and
but are they going to be
appearances.
doing that sponsorship?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
got flat
if-
tummy tea.
Actually, yeah, that's the new.
Harry's gonna
She's
create
like,
an
this is the
Instagram.
new British tea.
Yeah.
Flat tummy.
I posted them with earphones on. I'm like, they have a podcast, the husband and wife podcast.
oh my gosh, if they had a
Number
podcast.
one.
Keeping it real with the
Imagine.
royals.
The secrets of
Keeping
the
it
royal
real with the
family.
royals.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so good.
You should like have a company naming podcast.
Yes. And so, no, that's what I think.
Okay.
And they're going to have a house in like Malibu or the Palisades, and they're also going to have a place in New York.
They say that they're going to live in Canada,
Canada.
which is so boring for us.
They're not. No, but they're also going to live. They're coming back to LA.
They're
Yes.
not. I talked to them.
Amazing.
They'll have like a flat there because it's beautiful and Toronto's pretty and it's the richest part of Canada, but still. But then they'll like she'll convince him like, no, I want Archie to like have the Southern California life that I
Yeah.
did, and he'll be
one
like,
step at a
okay,
time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. I love it. That was a
Can't
great
think
way.
of a better way to end the podcast.
Yeah, that's amazing. Keeping it real with the Royals. Heather, where can everyone find you?
So my podcast is Juicy Scoop, Tuesdays, Thursdays. Follow me on. Please follow me on Instagram. All you girls better. I came to West Hollywood. I had
know,
to park.
out of Calabasas.
You better
Oh
fucking
my God, I
tag
feel
me.
so-
I'd like to get to 200,000 Instagram followers
Yeah,
in
we
the
can
next
do
few
that.
weeks, please.
Okay.
And I do lots of funny content on there. And then, of course, you can see me live. Come see me live in your city. You go to heathermcdonald.net.
When's your next show in LA?
I'll be in San Diego this week. I don't know when you're going to put this out. I'll be in San Diego this weekend. Boston already sold out. And then I'll be in
Nice.
DC February 7th and 8th and San Antonio 14th and 15th.
Amazing.
Wait, do you ever pop by the Comedy Store?
I actually really don't.
You
because
really should, so we can go walk over.
Yeah.
I know I should. I know my assistant's like, you really should. I just, I have kids and I'm home during the week.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a lot like coming here tonight. That's why I planned that plastic surgery appointment.
Amazing.
Right
Right
because I live in the valley and it's just kind of a pain in the ass.
You know,
and
it's
it's
the
like
fucking worst.
And I'm not like some bald comic that like can roll out of bed and show like I gotta do some lashes, I gotta look so cute.
No, it's a whole fucking thing.
And it's like, it is a fun experience when I do it. I just don't do it that often. So you got to come and see me when I come to your city because those I show up for and I do an hour plus. And
yeah. Go see Heather, download
Yeah.
the podcast, buy her book. Thank you so much for coming all the way
Thank
over
you
the
so
valley.
much.
You're the
It's
best.
fun.
We love you.
Bye, guys.
I don't get it.
Podcast.